Much like the peacock we covered previously, there's nothing much to a butterfly. They sprinkle summer fields and look beautiful, and that's the end of it, right? Well, again, not if you're an initiate in the occult, and again, we're going to be looking a bit at Thelema and Aleister Crowley. In 1917, Crowley wrote an autobiographical novel by the name of Moonchild, but the original title for this book was to be The Butterfly Net. Aleister Crowley was a ceremonial magician of the 19th and 20th century and also a 33rd degree Freemason. He, with the aid of his demon guide Aiwass, invented many of the rituals occultists in the modern day look to and perform, and he himself stated that their god was the Akkadian Shamash, or sun god. He was a leader within the occult secret society Ordo Templi Orientis, a chief in Stella Matutina, and very likely a British intelligence asset. The idea of the Moonchild is that, by the use of black magic, a perfect soul can be captured. Integral here is a belief in reincarnation, which is important to the Illuminists, who believe that human souls fight to occupy a particular embryo. Within the OTO, they call this perfect soul the homunculus. The actual rituals carried out to create a Moonchild, which in effect demonize the human fetus, are peripherally outlined in the novel, and the actual ritual took place at a villa that was even nicknamed the Butterfly Net, an occult temple laid out in sacred geometry and objects related to the moon. The butterfly is an ancient Chinese symbol for the soul, and the net represents the means by which you can capture it. The perfect soul Crowley was in search of and the magical workings involved to capture it in this net are said to be derived from Francis Bacon, Albertus Magnus, and Paracelsus, who have widely been known to have been involved with the occult. There was a desire to create a Superman. The idea here is to capture a soul from the fourth dimension and to create a homunculus, a little man or mannequin, spelled Manikin, usually represented in alchemical treatises in a retort or bottle. This might remind you of the Yazidi creation story we talked about, where their people are said to descend from a jar. The Moonchild is the encapsulation in a human body of a so-called lunar intelligence. While the novel is poorly written, he wrote more about it in an OTO document on the ritual called the Homunculo Epistle, which is actually part of the secret teaching of the 9th degree of the OTO, Ordo Templi Orientis, by the way. Here is a portion of that text. Let the man and woman copulate continuously, but especially at times astrologically favorable to the working, and that in a ceremonial manner in a prepared temple whose particular arrangement and decoration is also suitable to the work. And let them will ardently and constantly the success of the work, denying all other desires. Thus proceed until impregnation results. Now let the woman be withdrawn and carried away to a place prepared, and this place should be a great desert, for in such do rarely wander any human souls seeking incarnation. Further, let a great circle be drawn and consecrated to the sphere of the work, and let banishing formula of Sephiroth, and especially of Kether, be done often, even unto 5 or 7 times on every day, outside which great circle let the woman never go. During the pregnancy, demonic forces are invoked into the circle where the woman is, and after the first 3 months of pregnancy, the embryo becomes indwelt by the spirit. In Moonchild, at least, this was said to be a lunar spirit. In essence, a Moonchild, or you can call them a Monarch, is a kind of familiar spirit who will do the bidding of the magician who has created it. It's what goes under the banner of Monarch mind control, to be very blunt. And it certainly seems as though today, despite the insistence that the magical working was unsuccessful, that we are living in a time where there are many moon children, or monarchs, walking about among us, victims of the bloodlines they appear to be born into. They seem to be subject to the control of outside forces with an agenda we see unfolding. Is any of this fair? You might be objecting to all of this as a Christian, insisting God would not allow any of this. But why does magic exist at all? Why did a child have a spirit in the New Testament, a suicidal one at that, which needed driving out? There is much mystery to our lives and to the reality of our world, and all we can truly assess is that without God, without the salvation of Jesus Christ, we don't stand a chance. You might do further research of Monarch mind control, sometimes called Monarch programming, but in my years of looking at this, I believe this 9th degree OTO ritual is at the heart of it all. Until next time, God bless each of you in Jesus' mighty name.